right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is where we do business with you every single night of the week. We love to talk sports, and we hope you join the conversation. It's 412-575-2600. Bob Pompeani here. Andrew Fillipponi up at 93.7 The Fan. And we'll start you off with a tweet here tonight, Andrew. Gig Furman says, do they keep stats on how many times a position player pitches in MLB? I have a feeling the Pirates would lead the league in this category. Well, tonight we saw Jared Triolo, and he gave up a two-run home run, part of a 14-0 whitewash. The Pirates have been outscored by the best team in baseball, who could be them if they did the things that Milwaukee did, 21-1 in the last two games. And I got to believe Paul Skeens does not like what he's seeing right now.
You know, I saw a stat, and you don't know these days if some of these stats are real, Bob, because there's AI, and AI sometimes can lead you astray and down a bad road. But I think I saw that since Miller Park opened in 2001, the same year as PNC Park, that the Pirates have only had 2 seasons where they've recorded a winning record there in games played in Milwaukee, 2013, 2015. I mean, it's just been the hardest place for them to get wins. Exactly. I mean,
been terrible.
Even St. Louis, you know, all the years they were great. The Pirates had better luck than they've had in Milwaukee. And, you know, Paul Skeens, as good as he is a generational pitcher. We've not really seen anything like him in our lifetimes. He goes there and he looks pedestrian. I mean, he's got 2 starts this year with the same stat line, 4 innings in 4 runs. So, yeah, it's so frustrating because, you know, Bob, it's easier to accept losing to the Dodgers and the Yankees because it's like, of course, duh, they spend way more money than us.
What's he doing that increases that pitch count every single time he's out there? Because I don't remember him having, 3 outs, 8 pitch innings, or whatever the case may be. It seems to be it's a very high total every time he's out there.
Well, it seems like he has kind of scrapped the splinker, which was such an important pitch for him last year. And he's gone away from that. And I don't know if he's given a reason why to reporters, but just in the charting of pitches, that seems to be something that is now further down his repertoire. He likes to change up a lot more. And I know the last start that he won here, but he gave up a lot of hits to Cincinnati. His fastball command wasn't great. He got hit around a little bit, but was able to strand runners and get strikeouts and outs when he needed. And from the very first hitter tonight you mentioned, we didn't see that from Paul. So, you know, when he has a couple of starts in a row where he doesn't look superhuman, I know I freak out because I'm just so used to him looking that much better than major league hitters. But really, this is a common thing for even the best guys. And they have nights or even chunks of the season where they're not elite or invincible. And we're seeing that from Paul, and we're seeing that really from the entire Pirates pitching staff right now, starting pitching and bullpen. I mean, they can't get pitching anywhere, Bob, and they haven't really since the trade deadline.
And that even includes Bubba Chandler, who is his performance has regressed down there. And at some point still, I want to see him up here. I'm tired of watching Andrew Heaney. We know what that guy is. He's not going to be around after this year. So bring him up. Let him get a chance to see. Maybe it'll excite him, rejuvenate him, whatever the case may be. 412-575-2600 is the number. We're going to take a break, Andrew. We're going to come back. We got the phone lines lit. You can call 412-575-2600 and air your opinions about the Pirates, the Steelers, whatever else, right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. All right, welcome back. This is our Xfinity tweet of the night. And you can see Paul Skeens on this list here. I can't read that. It's so far away. I'm sorry. Tell me in my ear here what I'm looking at, because MLB record for complete games. Okay. Well, we're never going to see that again. Cy Young at 749, period. It's never going to happen. In fact, we're going to have a hard time now. This has become a game, Andrew, of 5 innings. And if you can give me 5 innings or 6 innings, that's a quality start. That's all you need to do. It's really crazy to think of 749 complete games by one person.
Yeah, and well, I mean, even look at, say, 30 years ago. I mean, Greg Maddux, maybe a third of his starts would be complete games. Guys like Maddux and Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez and Randy Johnson would do that. And you fast forward to 20, 25 years later, and if a guy has one or two in a season, that's a lot. So it is a totally different game. And all the data out there says, Bob, that pitchers are basically horrible whenever they see a lineup for a third time in a game. And that has a lot of the managers either on their own or being told by front offices, hey, get that starting pitcher out of the game before he gets into harm's way.
No question about it. You see our KDKA.com Connect question of the night. Who do you think is the biggest key to the Steelers' success this season? You have choices of Aaron Rodgers, the offensive line, defense, wide receiver room. That's a low total right now of 3%. It looks like offensive line would be the key. We'll talk about that and more. We'll go to the phone lines right now, Andrew, at 412-575-2600, beginning with Denny in Tionesta, Pennsylvania. What's up, Denny?
Hey, Bob and Pony. Bob and Pony, do you ever think that Major League Baseball and Commissioner Manfred would consider taking over the Pirates because they're not putting a winning product on the field? They're looking after the bottom line, and this has been going on for years. I can't remember how long Pirate ownership's been in place.
As Andrews pointed out last night, you look back at the last 45 years, you're only going to find 7 playoff appearances. I don't think they've won a playoff series since 1979. But beyond that, it's the more recent times that we're talking about. Outside of those 3 years, 13, 14, and 15, you can go back over 2.5, almost 3 decades of nothingness. And Andrew, the bottom line is they got to do more.
Hodgepodge of nothingness. That's what Dennis Eckersley said.
Dennis Eckersley, the hodgepodge of nothingness. But that's pretty much what it is and what it has been.
Well, I think the only way something like that would happen is if something unlawful happened, if something where the Pirates as an organization broke some kind of rule or law at the very top. That's how owners get removed in professional sports now. Daniel Snyder with Washington, for example, or what happened with the LA Clippers a while back in the NBA. I mean, if a team is financially successful, if they are, not a drag to Major League Baseball in terms of losing money and poorly run from that perspective, I don't think commissioners want to stick their nose in just because a team's bad. And you know what, Bob? I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to hold somebody's hand. I don't want Roger Goodell to step in and say, well, wait a second, the Jets have been bad for a long time here, so let's get Woody Johnson out of there. Oh, Jimmy Haslam can't get out of his own way in Cleveland. Let's bring some other owner in here. I don't want commissioners getting involved that way. If the organization has things going on under the hood where they treat employees poorly, or there's crimes that have been committed and things like that, well, yeah, that's why you have commissioners to legislate and weed those things out. But I don't want commissioners to just get involved because a team hasn't won in a long time. No, thank you. I wouldn't want that in my fantasy football league. Oh, Joe Blow hasn't won the league title in 10 years. Let's give him the first pick now for the next 5. No, that's not how sports work.
No, but I do think they need a system that's better suited for everyone, and that means putting pressure on the Pirates and having them spend more. And hopefully at the end of next year they'll do something in that regard, because otherwise there's no reason. If Bob Nutting doesn't want to spend to a certain level, he doesn't have to. There's no pressure on him, but he's doing himself and his team and his city a disservice by not doing that. There's an obligation to compete. You should be wanting to compete. If that means spending more because your draft system stinks, then so be it.
Well, Bob, I have good news for you. We had Greg Brown on our show today, and we were talking about this, and he said, guys, I want you to buckle up. He said, I believe, this is Greg's opinion, he's been around the Pirates for 40 years, that we are going to see the Pirates sign players this offseason beyond our wildest dreams as Pirates fans. He said that today.
All right, well, hey, listen.
Get ready, beyond our wildest dreams, Bob.
I hope he's right, but listen, until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. There are a lot of guys who are going to be available. In this past offseason, Pete Alonso was available for a nice sum of money, not that much. He's going to want more. He has a player option. He's probably going to say, I'm going and testing and moving on. And if that's the case, the Pirates should be aggressive in that sort of thing. More of that, not less, especially when you have pitchers like Paul Skeens around. Let's go back to Steve in Brentwood on line 1. Hello, Steve. Welcome.
Hey, Bob and Tony. Nice to talk to you. Anyhow, I was just getting a kick tonight about the Keystone Cops in the outfield. The center fielder should be the general out there. I was just wondering, should Neil Cruz be in right field as Parker and Clemente that had great arms and had power, and Willie Stargell, and maybe Reynolds back in center, because it doesn't seem to be working out.
I wonder just generally about O'Neal Cruz. If you look at his numbers since June 1st, and if you look at actually his 3 years body of work, his average is 207. I expected much more by year 3 for him. This is year 3. He's been inconsistent, erratic. Yeah, he can hit, tape measure jobs. So be it.
I know.
You got to have more than that.
And everybody not everybody, but a lot of Pirates fans wanted to throw a party because he was in the home run derby. Who cares?
Which might have hurt
about
him.
that?
How do we know that didn't affect him here? I don't know.
That's
He's
right.
swinging terribly.
That was one of the silliest things. Oh my God, we're so excited to watch him in batting practice. We'll go down to PNC Park early and watch him hit there, okay? Because he doesn't do a lot of hitting in games. You can't switch Brian Reynolds and O'Neal Cruz, though, because Brian Reynolds can't move anymore. He's one of the oldest-looking 30-year-olds. He runs the outfield like Gene Lamont walked out to the pitching mound tonight, which, by the way, Gene, I'm happy to see that you're still in baseball, but that was painful. You could tell there was arthritis or something going on there,
Well,
Bob.
he's in his 80s, Pony. What do you expect? I mean, that's...
Well, then can we have somebody younger go out there and do it? I mean, there's a million coaches. Why do I need to watch Gene? I mean, it was a struggle for him. I wanted to get off my couch and lend him a helping hand. It was that bad. No, you can't switch those two. If you put O'Neal Cruz in right field, you take his athleticism away because it's not allowed a ground to cover with the Clemente wall out there. So, but he is, make no mistake about it, people bring this stuff up because he has been a colossal disappointment based on his talents. And I do blame the Pirates for that, Bob. I'd be very interested to see what O'Neal Cruz looked like on a team where he was surrounded with better players and the team was actually competitive in a playoff race.
I would too. I'd like to see that. I think it would take a lot more pressure off of him, and he may be more relaxed in that situation. Let's go out to Larry in Oil City. So we go from Tionesta to Oil City. Good to get the representation out there. What's up, Larry?
Hey, Bob, I just want to tell you a couple of things, actually. I really respect the job that Donnie Kelly's done and doing, but O'Neal Cruz, let's go back to last weekend's game. Saturday night, he strikes out, throws his bat down, throws his helmet. Sunday, he gets thrown out at first base on a routine ground ball. What's he do? He takes his helmet off and he throws it down. This kid is disrespecting the game. Somebody's got to bench him. Donnie may have benched him last night for one game, but he got to send a message. You have to send a message. We need a little discipline there. O'Neal Cruz needs to understand you have to respect the game.
Well, I thought perhaps he learned a lesson like that earlier in the season when he went through a situation where they finally had to take him out of the lineup. I'm just concerned about him overall, Andrew. I just am. I just think that's a big part of what they're doing. And if he's not what they think he should be or potentially could be, then they're in trouble there because there's no one else in their system right now who they can count on offensively.
Yeah, there's very little. Cruz really wasn't benched last night. He didn't start because Jose Quintana pitched, and he's left-handed. And if you really want to see something scary 2 months away from Halloween, go look at O'Neal Cruz's stats against left-handed pitching. I mean, it is abhorrent. Think of the worst Pirates hitter you've watched in like the last 20 to 30 years, and I bet that guy's batting average is better than what O'Neal Cruz does against left-handed pitching. He cannot hit them, Bob.
Yeah.
Did you say 200? He might be under 100 againts left-handed pitching this year.
I think I saw a 103 stat, and that was before tonight. Not that I don't know.
103. So he turns into Jack Sawinski when he hits against lefties.
Yeah, he, Serwinski, Henry Davis, they got to develop these guys more. I don't know what the deal is, but none of them have even come close to potential that they thought when they took these guys in the draft or whatever the case may be. We're due for a break. We'll take it right now at 412-575-2600 right here. KDKA Plus is your site of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. KDKA News at 11 starts in about 6 minutes from right now. Ken Rice is on deck. And what do you got tonight, Ken?
Hey there, Bob. We're following breaking news: a body found in the Mon River. Plus, local leaders pledging to get answers after yesterday's deadly explosion in Clairton. And Ray Petlin's tracking rain on the way after all these days of bone dry weather, all coming up at 11.
15 days in a row with no rain. Maybe we'll get a little bit. I think we need a lot more than that. George Logner on Twitter has this interesting question here, Andrew. How much longer are the Pirates going to give Henry Davis? He's a decent catcher, can't hit. Who would have thought that when he first came up? Because the thought was that he couldn't catch, he could hit. Now it's reversed itself.
Absolutely. I mean, I honestly think in my lifetime of almost 40 years, he's the worst #1 pick as a hitter I've ever seen. I mean, he is the bust of all busts in terms of not being able to square up and hit major league pitching, Bob.
No.
And that's a stain on Ben Cherington's resume. And with so many blunders like that, I'm just still stunned that he's in year 6 in charge of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And likely year 7 to follow. It looks like that way anyway.
Ugh.
It's unbelievable. All right. Before we go, any Steeler-related items you'd like to get out there? We have about 30 seconds. And I think Will Howard said today that he's frustrated, but at the same time, no surgery needed. That's at least a good thing.
Bob, I want you to have an incredible call where you maybe work in a reference to me during the game Saturday night.
Like what, for example?
Something horse or pony related, maybe.
Well, I've done it with Donnie. I've done it with Joe Starkey with an incrinculant. I'll figure out something for you. We'll see if we can do that. All right, Pony, thanks. Appreciate it as always. We'll see you again.
Thank you, Bob.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We'll do it again tomorrow night, 10:35, right here. Same time, same channel for the Sports Call. Good night.